America's truckers work long hours and log countless miles. All that time behind the wheel and away from home can be tough on a driver. But you talk to anyone at long haul and you're gonna hear them using the term family when they reference their coworkers. That environment of friendship and trust has been a key part of their success in the trucking industry. They've made some memories and have great stories to tell. Come along with me and get to know some of the members of the long haul family.
When you start a business, you have to really work hard at it to get it on its feet. And in order to grow a business, you have to really surround yourself with good people. And there's just a lot of good people, a lot of good families in this business. And you just really like being around them because they're just truly good people. You know, and that's kind of the rewarding part of being an owner of a business is to, you know, hang out with some really cool people. When I met Jason Michaels, he was hauling milk for a local dairy, just a hard-working kid, right?
I was going to college and I had a cousin call me with an opportunity to go to work delivering milk. So it was a good opportunity, hard work though, really hard work. And the reason I got to know JD was he ate my dad's restaurant all the time. So he would have lunch in my dad's restaurant, and I would stop in delivering milk, and he was always, hey, when are you gonna come work for me? Come work for me.
He came to work for us as an owner-operator.
I was an owner-operator for John for 5 years. My wife was pregnant with our third child, so there was a conversation like, oh, do you wanna be an over-the-road driver? I've been good at home with the two girls, but I'm like, okay, I gotta sell my truck. I wanna be home with my son, right? Sure. So John helps me sell that truck, and I went to work for, at that time, one of our shippers, and a guy who ended up to be a great mentor of mine. When I'd sell a job and I was successful, I would call John and have long haul haul the job because there's no better trucking company in the country. One day, John called me and said, hey, it's been a while, but think you want to come over and sell long haul?
Talked him into coming back and working for us as in sales.
I went over to his house, and this was a Sunday. He said, well, come on over, we'll talk about it. I go over to his house, and all these old driver buddies of mine are sitting in his basement watching a NASCAR race. I go down the steps, and like Greg Reagan and Al Smith and a couple other guys are sitting down there, and they're like, hey, Jay, how'd you doing? I'm like, what's going on here? And they're like, oh, this is your job interview. What?
Springs it on you.
What? Yeah, what? Ate some walleye that night at John's kitchen table, and when I left, he said, see you in the office tomorrow. I said, well, I gotta leave my old job. I'm still working there. So went in actually to my boss at the time on Monday, told him what I was gonna do. He told me that was going to be the best opportunity I ever had in my life because he knew how much I loved long haul. And so he was so excited that he said, I'll tell you what, I'll pay you your 2-week notice out. You can go start for John tomorrow.
Wow.
And so Tuesday I walked in, to what was the start of where I'm at now, you know?
You know, several years later, he works into the, you know, CEO of a, you know, $100 million a year trucking company. He's not afraid to do anything and he'll work hard. He really cares about, you know, his family, taking care of his family, and long haul is his family.
My dad ended up coming on board at long haul, sold his restaurant to come work for John, bought a new Pete, new Conestoga. I think to this day, he's the only driver that long haul's ever hired that hasn't, with no driving experience.
He owned a country kitchen restaurant in Rogers. And he says, John, I've been in this business for 20-some years. I always wanted to be an over-the-road truck driver. What do you think about me coming to work for you? I said, you got no experience. He said, I'll train whatever. So Al Smith agreed to take him with him and teach him how to be an over-the-road truck driver. He's still here today.
And then my son, you know, he gets to the age where it's time for him to get a job. Long haul's such a great company, and I'm not gonna be there forever. How do we get him involved? So he started washing trucks. He works for Rob Winter, our shop manager, and Robbie's just been a great boss to him and you know, taught him a lot. So now he's actually doing mechanic work while he's going to tech school to be a mechanic. And maybe, just maybe, you know, he'll run a shop or something like that. But hopefully there's a home for him at Long Haul for a long time.
Coming up next is more Long Haul's King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt. Stay tuned.
King of the Road is brought to you by Peterbilt. Extreme trailers, innovation moving forward, and long haul trucking, running on the power of promises kept.
Welcome back to Long Haul's King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt. Long haul trucking is at the center of some great family stories. I've been talking with CEO Jason Michaels about his father, Bob, who decided to follow in his son's footsteps.
I grew up in the restaurant business. My dad owned a restaurant for about 28 years before he went to work at Long Haul.
Bob Michaels and his wife, Glenda, graciously invited me into their home.
Glenda was pregnant with Jason, and my brothers talked me into doing this restaurant thing. A year later, we ended up in a new little house and a new restaurant in Rogers, Minnesota at 23 years old, and we worked a lot. He had this business, very successful business. He had it for 20-some years, and it's right on the interstate. He was always busy. Looked at these trucks coming up the ramp all the time, every day. And I finally told Glenda one day, you know, I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna get paid to see the country. And I told John that I would buy a truck and a trailer if he would, you know, give me an opportunity. And I thought, wow, you want to quit and be driver? He said, yeah, I've always wanted to see the country. I always wanted to be an over-the-road truck driver. You know, it's one of those things where he doesn't have the experience, but you know he'd be good. So we took the chance and we trained him.
Went to work with Al Smith. Al Smith was his trainer and mentor for 2 months. Al Smith, who was a company driver in the time that I decided to do this, Al had bought his own truck and he was going to say, no, I'm not going to take him with. And then he met me at the shop one time and I introduced myself and he said, my mind just went, okay, he can ride with me. Al was an amazing mentor of mine too when I started at Long Haul.
His dad could have been in management probably because he's that smart of an operator, but his passion was to drive truck. I run into the guys, they see our name on the truck and, you know, oh, you're Jason's dad, and they have a smile on their face. And I'm so proud it brings tears to my eyes right now. His mother and I, his sister, we're proud. How proud I'm beyond words. We have to change the subject or I'm going to be teary-eyed through the whole thing, I suppose. One of the things that I'm so proud of him on this whole deal is he's a we guy. He's not an I guy. He says, we have started doing this and we have implemented this. He talks in such a positive way about Josh or Tiffany, Anthony, Dave, Linda, any one of those wonderful dispatchers, and it's always positive and it's always we. They're glad that they're part of the Long Haul family. You come in the door and Brenda says hi and with a smile on her face every time, and I think everybody's always happy when I'm there.
As a fellow driver, always nice to talk to, always a part of that family you're talking about, and somebody that you can trust to be there for you if you need him in a time of trouble. One time I remember Bob and I went from Minneapolis to Pittsburgh together because his truck was getting some work done and he needed to ride back out to his truck. So I was heading that way and Bob rode with me.
When my truck was done, I got a ride
back east with Josh when he was still in his truck. He gave me a ride back out there.
I got to know Bob more that day than I probably had in the first 10 years, but he would do the same thing for anybody else, help somebody out. Just there, part of that long haul family, somebody you can trust, and just a good guy. And I think that rolls into, what he's taught Jason. So that kind of falls into the long haul family. We work as a team, 100%. We're 450 of us here, and we all have to be working together to make it happen in the end. And if part of the team isn't there that day, it really affects the whole operation. And at the end of the day, the goal is to get the job done and take care of our customer. And it really is one big family. And you spend so much time with everyone here. It's pretty cool.
Welcome back. This is Long Haul's King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt.
At Long Haul here, it is like family, and it's surprising how many families have been a part of Long Haul over the years. A lot of fathers and sons have worked here. Josh and his dad Ray. Josh runs our fleet, makes sure everything's good here at Long Haul with all the trucks and all the drivers. He was a driver here himself. His dad's still an owner-operator here.
What are you passionate about?
Trucks, equipment, being a truck driver, starting out as a kid in the industry. Watched grandpa, dad, uncle, they all drove truck, they worked on trucks. So growing up, starting as soon as I could walk, I was crawling in and out of a truck, and I grew up with it. It's a lot of what I know, and I've just turned it into a career now.
I knew Josh and I knew Ray. I know they're two first-class guys. I mean, Ray Hainstock he was always worth conversation. They knew a lot about the truck. I didn't know anything about the truck. I talked to them about it, but as far as the nuts and bolts and all that, when you start out at 45 years old, you don't understand the physical aspects of the truck.
I have a 4-year-old boy now. Obviously, he's interested in equipment, trucks, anything mechanical, and it's really cool to see that. And it's really cool to really teach him the things I know. And it's fun to see his eyes light up, to get in the cab and walk around in the sleeper and on the bed. And what are all these things, Dad? And what's this do? And blow the horn. So it's very exciting.
Josh in the office down there, he's a good guy. They all are.
Mm-hmm. This industry, there's a lot of challenges in this industry. So finding these people and meeting these people and knowing who they are and seeing that they're good families that are so fun to be part of.
The Long Haul family has grown stronger over the years. And like any other family, there have been a few bumpy roads along the way.
And the fact that we've all been there for so many years, like you go through all those milestones with each other. I mean, yeah, we've just been through a lot together. I have so many John stories. I've never been fired by John. So I got that going for me. JD has fired the boys a couple of times.
And now I'm going to ask a question, and if you don't want to talk about it on camera, that's cool, but I'm going to ask. You ever been fired?
Might as well just get it out there. I was a little out of line with something I brought up to him, and he let me know that the result of that would be that I maybe didn't need to come in to work the next day.
But he doesn't really mean it.
I showed up for work, and John came in the office, and he looked down at my desk, and he said, "What are you doing here? I fired you." And I said, "Man, I'm way too busy to be fired right now." And he goes, "Okay."
Thankfully, the boys that have been fired have the same mentality where, okay, I'm fired, but I'm still gonna come to work tomorrow, because they're over it like that.
Yeah, you might get fired a few times, but
It's part of it.
as long as you can deal, you'll be good.
It's character building.
Yeah.
So John and I have a lot of a father-son type relationship, and and thank goodness. I think he was delivering the message and something I needed to hear. And then he knew that we were gonna work through that. Those times they're always tough when you're going through them, but they always made sense when it was over.
We'll be back with more Long Haul's King of the Road powered by Peterbilt.
King of the Road is brought to you by Peterbilt. Extreme trailers, innovation moving forward, and long haul trucking, running on the power of promises kept.
Welcome back. You're watching Long Haul's King of the Road powered by Peterbilt.
Today, we're talking about family, and Peterbilt has been part of the Long Haul extended family for decades.
Probably the best decision I've made is to align myself with Peterbilt, because it is like the Cadillac of trucks. I mean, it's just, they're always on the cutting edge of building the best, but in the last few years, they've cut so much weight out of the truck, made them stronger, lighter, haul more weight, better fuel efficiency, and they never go away from the most beautiful truck design. If you're not driving a Peterbilt, you're not driving a truck,
Peterbilt is also an important member of the family for businesses all over America. I went to visit Andrews Logistics in South Lake, Texas, a Peterbilt partner and a family company.
What exactly do you guys and girls do here?
We are an asset-based tank truck common carrier. So we're bringing all your 5W30s, your transmission fluids, your hydraulic fluids, your lube oils that go in everybody's cars and trucks from the manufacturer out to distributors nationwide. We also do a lot of chemicals that are general chemicals that pick up at the refineries and are going to factories as part of the raw materials going into any kind of general consumer goods. So we're mostly a tank truck company.
This is a family operation for you. Where does your family fit into this picture here at Andrews Logistics?
We look at all our work family as family, so all our employees are part of our family. However, our kids and my partner's kids are starting to get involved through internships. My daughter Madison, my eldest, works for the company. All of my kids at some point have done internships, worked here in the summer. In fact, that's where I kind of use to teach them work ethic. So we're excited about getting the second generation involved in our own families, as well as the families of our employees that have been with us a long time. I love my truck drivers, I love my mechanics. They're the type of folks that work hard, sacrifice a lot for their families. A lot of our employees and drivers are one-income families where they go out and sacrifice a lot to make good money out on the road.
Hardworking, that's for sure, especially right now, and now more than ever. People of the trucking industry are heroes. Can you explain why that is right now exactly?
We those guys go out and make deliveries, all the way from food to we're an oil and chemical hauler transport company, so nobody would have oil for their cars, nobody would be able to drive their cars, eat, so it'd be pretty devastating. So my guys are heroes. We are always kind of worried about their safety, already have their mask on, they're going into our customers' facilities so that when they get back to their families, they are not being part of the spread of the virus back at their homes.
Now, on the topic of safety, obviously a huge concern. What is this Target Zero initiative?
It's a long-term campaign. Target Zero meaning that we want to have 0 accidents, 0 spills, 0 cross-contaminations, and 0 injuries. And that is the only acceptable goal that we can have.
So we've made our way back to the mechanics bay. What goes on back here on a daily basis?
Okay, so this is where we're repairing our trucks. We do mostly light maintenance. This truck right here is a brand new truck that we're just getting in-serviced and ready to roll and deploy down the road. It doesn't even have the decals on it yet. It'll be out in the field within a couple of weeks.
Beautiful machines we have here.
The Peterbilt plant's local here in Denton. So from here, we'll send the new trucks out to the customer, out to our terminal locations, and then bring back our older trucks to clean them up, and we'll sell and retail them from here. You can't go wrong with the Peterbilts. It's a great product. You're never gonna make a driver upset by giving him a new Peterbilt. And the relationship aspects of it, when you take that into account, help make that our best decision. So.
It's definitely a lot cooler in there than it is outside today in this Texas heat.
It seems like everybody comes to work. They're glad they come to work.
There's not a whole lot of just like, you know, I'm punching in, doing what I gotta do, and just watching the clock until I can get out of here.
Yeah, it's kind of what I love about the industry is that there's a ton of good people in it, and at the end of the day, we all come together for the same goal.
Yes, long haul is one big family.
When things are a little uncertain in the world, we all rely on the strength of one another, our friends and our families. It's clear that the people at Long Haul really are a family. And I feel really lucky to be able to share their story.
I'm Haley Shanley for Long Haul's King of the Road, powered by Peterbilt.
I hope you'll join me again next time.